The year was 1994. Underground hip-hop was going mainstream, heading into its golden age. I was a young teen doing what I loved the most, making music and playing football. This is a brief story about the team I played for.
She was a Milligan, class of '96.
Rock, as we call him, went on to start 4 years at Wideout, playing for Fairfield University.
It was the biggest part, especially where I lived at. Right, probably a couple blocks from Roosevelt. It was one of the main, arteries to go to Roosevelt. Watching people coming back and forth, and, going to the games and coming home from the games. Saw a lot of people, and also being where I was at, you can see the light.
No light shine brighter than team captain and homecoming king number 6 Jeff Butler. He was a dual threat, able to make momentum changing plays on defense, but also able to score from anywhere on the field. He was our leader, physically and spiritually. So much so he came up with a name for our defense. We called it Hit Squad. We went 9-1 that year at the highest classification Pennsylvania high school football could offer, 4A. We gave up less than 10 points a game that year for a total of 92. What made this team special was its collection of talent. Numbers 55 senior Dean Moore, 5'6", 180 pounds of granite, played middle linebacker like someone twice his size. I never saw him shy away from contact. He was fearless. Number 45 senior Sidney Bull, 3-sport athlete, performed in track and field, basketball, and football. He transferred in by way of Plainfield, New Jersey. His strengths were his athleticism, size. He had high football IQ. He went on to play at Albright before transferring to Shippensburg. Number 1 junior Omar Jenkins, a 2-sport star who played basketball and football, was fast enough to run track. Number 3 sophomore Lofton Thompson, a 2-sport star who scored over 1,000 points in basketball. He would later start 4 years at Temple University. This is Norristown football. It wasn't always pretty.
Before we start camp, you guys can mark the calendar now. If you guys have any suggestions, we're always more than welcome to it and see how we can make everything better. All right, and like I said, brothers, we appreciate you guys going. And to your younger brothers, take a look at these guys. All right, they're from all over. We got guys coming from Coatesville, we got guys coming from Lansdale, we got guys coming from Norristown, we got guys coming from over Philadelphia. Come out here to see what you guys are about this year.
Brock is the head coach of Norristown football.
He look like a player.
Tasked with bringing back a proud tradition. He has the endorsement of Norristown, and if anybody can do it, he can. I'm proud of you, boy. Back to '94, we started our season hosting the number 1 team in the state, Central Bucks West, a league foe that we defeated 17-6 the year before. One of 2 losses they had that year. They were the runner-up in the Quad A state championship game. The game started out fast and furious, as most Friday Night Lights games usually do. Damon Carroll took the opening kickoff back 60-plus yards. Steve Davis, senior kicker, number 7, started our scoring off with a field goal from 18 yards out. We played tough defense led by number 40 Eric Stead, another senior. Lofton Thompson broke his hand on that play and wouldn't return. That was big. In our secondary, Brahim Mitchell picked off quarterback Snyder of Central Bucks West, and we were in business. With the tough running of Jeff Butler inside, the explosive Brahim Mitchell on the perimeter, and the fastest player in the state, playing tailback. We scored 24 points, but it wasn't enough. But this was Damon Bo Carroll's coming out party. Number 2 had 14 carries for 165 yards and 3 touchdowns. I'm sure in hindsight, Roger Grove probably thought he should have gave this kid the ball about 30 times. I know I would have.
The echo. So when you start hearing the announcement going off, Mr. J, as you hear his voice going, you understand that, hey, I'm waiting for the game, I'm missing something. And all of a sudden you hear a big roar or cry from the crowd. It was just like, yo, something's happening in town, you missing it, you gotta be a part of it.
We were a talented team, deep, strong, fierce. Words that I want to use to describe this talent, these athletes, and the characters. We combine speed, power, strength, agility. Teams usually couldn't match up. Our quarterback, Phil Galliano, possessed leadership skills. He was like a coach on the field. If he wasn't throwing for one, he was receiving interceptions. A converted running back, he decided to play quarterback, and probably the best decision in Norristown football. He was accurate, he was mobile, could throw on the run. And when you got people out there catching it like Brahim Mitchell, you gotta give him a chance. Brahim was one of the best I've ever seen. When Speedy Rich Hicks on the other side, pretty good 1-2 punch. Eric Stead wasn't shabby at tight end either. I mean, we could score from anywhere. Most of these guys were D1 talent. Only thing that got in their way was probably themselves. Academics wasn't a big thing back then. Eric Stead would have definitely been a Power 5 player. Outside linebacker, or defensive end, even tight end if he wanted to. He was amazing. Brahim Mitchell was another one. They were actually cousins, if you could believe that or not. 6'1", 185 pounds. Used to remind me of Andre Reed. Everybody was getting in on it. We were playing sophomores, juniors, and seniors. I know literally we could have won it about 50 deep on both sides of the ball. That much talent roamed the sidelines at Norristown. Names like Sharif Khalid. He would have been a great running back anywhere else. Not even the great Kevin Ingram could escape this defense. Yeah, that's me. Signified by a towel and hard hitting. It's tradition. It was just a great time to be alive. Great time to be playing football. Golden years. I mean, we could score from anywhere. You got athletes, man. It's a premium, especially in high school. And with the fastest player on the East Coast, no doubt in my mind, if we would have went to states that year, we'd have won it all. Damon Carroll is a football player. Let's not get confused. A football player, not a track star. This guy would go out, run for 150 yards, make 5 tackles, get an interception, run it back for a touchdown. He complimented Jeff Butler perfectly. Mr. Inside and Mr. Out. Speed and power. Thunder and lightning. On the defensive side of the ball, Jeff was our lightning rod. He was our spirit. He was our soul.
And high school just became a unique thing. It was the first year that the freshman program was actually underneath the varsity program. I know it sounds strange, but back then they were 2 separate programs. And my freshman year is when we actually started practicing with the varsity, playing with the varsity. And you know, I remember being a freshman scout team dude, having to run away from people like Quan and Haskell, Bug, go against Tuggle, all those guys, you know, linebacker drills and everything, kind of helped me convert myself to go in the corner and free safety. So, but that was definitely one of the unique things that happened at Norristown. You don't get that to happen too much often, where you got freshmen actually lining up and practicing and playing with the varsity guys.
So I hope you enjoyed this brief look at 1994 at Norristown Area High School and this football team. A lot of these names that I mentioned are long gone, they've passed. Multiple funerals, heartbreaks, a lot of tears. We love and miss them. His squad forever.